if you want to do screen recording, you could do screen recording, and then this lets you record whatever you're doing and share it with people. And OBS, Open Broadcaster Software, is open source, free screen recording software for Mac or Windows. I think Linux. Yeah, so you got it all right here. Windows, Mac, Linux. And it's awesome. And so if you ever have questions, you could be like, yo, I got a question. What's going on here? And you could record it and show it, post it to YouTube, send somebody the link, and try to get them to answer it. Or you need to show somebody something. Hey, here's how you do it. Or you just want to make your own videos that you're learning stuff and put them up to YouTube. Yo, what's up, people? My name's Aaron. I'm learning to code HTML and CSS. I just learned this really cool new thing. I wanted to share it with you all. Check this out. You do this, you do that. And bam, look at that. Isn't that cool? And then you put those videos up on YouTube, and you start getting people liking what you're doing and following. And then you have people that you build something, you could market to them, and you could use social media tools to start pushing out, content that you're creating to all the different platforms. But that's starting to leverage technology to do stuff. And social media, getting social media and having a social media following is a valuable resource that'll help you in your career no matter what you're doing. I think we talked about that a little bit last week, right?
A lot of people don't realize that.
I didn't.
How valuable social media can be.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks, oh, it's just to say hi to my friends that I haven't seen in 10 years. I mean, that's good too, but
yeah,
you can do so much more with it.
Just
harness it and utilize it.
So the settings on OBS, this is what they look like on that. And then on output, you want to make sure it's MP4. And then where do you want the file stored? And your audio. Disabled everything, just make sure my mic is capturing. If I wanted to capture what's going through my computer, desktop audio, right? Like if I played a video to capture that in my video, I'd have that, but you got to make sure you don't violate somebody else's intellectual property ownership. And then just, the screen size I'm recording right here, right? So those are the settings. So now we're going to just kind of review what we looked at, and we looked at emmet.io. We didn't look at CodePen, but emmet. So we'll take a look at emmet.io. And emmet.io is a really short, really good way to quickly write HTML code. And so I have Gogland here. You're using WebStorm, but I'm going to need a new repo maybe for this class. I don't know. I think I've got my HTML CSS repo. We'll do that one, and then I could just add to it. That makes more sense. So under Documents, I have my HTML and CSS bootcamp, and there's all that code. So I'll open that up, and that's going to correspond to on GitHub. My username is goes to11, and if you don't know what that stands for, you could go to YouTube. And we'll watch this for a break at some point today and look for Goes to 11 on YouTube. And it's an old Rob Reiner movie called Spinal Tap.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll take a look at that here in a second. But I have that HTML CSS bootcamp repo here. And so as I come over here, now that's open, so I'm going to click this project to open up the sidebar and be able to see that. And as I open this, right, all that code here is also over here. And so I could come up here to temp and 00 temp, and I could just do a new folder. I'm going to call this one 13 spring fall 2017. And then I could just create folders in here, 001, and this will be emmet.io, emmet. And so inside emmet here, I could create a file, and I'm going to do a new HTML file, and just index is the naming convention for your main file, index. And then inside here, I could write some code, and I could do some things. So if I wanted just like a heading, just H1 and tab, and then it fills it in. I type in the element name and then tab, and it fills it in. And so this would be like, my web page. And then if I wanted to do an unordered list, which means it's going to be bullet points, and an ordered list would be numbered, but unordered list, and I want like 5 of those, right? And so now I could list out, my favorite foods, which right now, ripe peach comes to mind. And then oranges, love those. And cherries are wonderful. And blueberries, delicious. And what else is really wonderful? I don't know, barbecue, man. I love barbecue. Right? And then I could do an ordered list, and with list items, and I could have 4 of those. All right? And now it looks very similar. And now I'll list out, my favorite things to do, or I'll list out the main things in my life: family, work, personal maintenance, which consists of, sleep, eat, and then Command D to duplicate to get one more, and sleep, eat, exercise. Like literally, that's my life right now.
Does Command D work with only lists?
It works on a Mac. No, Command D will in WebStorm will duplicate anything.
Okay.
So there's on WebStorm, I'm in GOGLAND, but on WebStorms there's a key map reference. They don't have it here in GOGLAND yet. I don't know why. But under help you can find a key map reference, and it tells you all the shortcuts. It's really nice.
GOGLAND is for Go.
For Go, yeah. But you could, they're all, WebStorm, GOGLAND, pretty similar. But this is just dialed in for Go programming.
Can you use either or on either or? Like if you were to take your code from GOGLAND, you can use it on WebStorm without having to adjust it or anything?
Yeah. Yeah, so here is, there'd be a few shifts, if it's Go or whatever, I have to set up my environment. But here's what that looks like. Unordered list, UL, ordered list, OL. And so just like, if you're in Mexico, and who speaks Spanish? Anybody speak Spanish? How do you say donut? If I want a donut in Mexican Spanish, how do I say donut?
You say here, donut.
They don't have a word for donut in Mexico? What about helado? Helado, what's helado?
Galleta.
Galleta?
Yeah,
right. So like if I don't know galleta in Spanish, I can't ask for a cookie. Like I got to know that word to get what I want. And same way with web programming, if I don't know UL is an unordered list, I don't get unordered lists. If I don't know that OL is an ordered list, I don't get ordered lists. I got to know the words to speak this language to get what I want. And so, here I've got unordered lists, and then I need a list item for each of my unordered list items. And notice these are nested inside of this tag, this element. Right? These are nested inside of the OL tag. These are the children. This is the parent. You could also say these are the descendants, and this is the ancestor. Right? So just different words for talking about where things are on the page.
Parents and children.
Yeah. So that's using a little bit of emmet. And now that I have this code here, I could go to my terminal. And you don't need to use GitHub in this class. If you want to, that's fine. If you were in Rio's class, you already learned some of that. But I go to my terminal, and then I could go to Documents. And then I could go into this. This is called HTML CSS Bootcamp. And I could do git status and git pull, just make sure I'm current with the repo. And then git add -- all and git commit -m. You're doing great. And then git push. And that's going to push all that code up to GitHub. And so now if I come back over here to GitHub and I refresh, well, I don't even have to refresh because when I drill down into temp, it's going to bring that up. And there's that code. So now you have access to all this code by going to this repo right here. I don't know if we have that repo in our course outline. So let's go just check on the home page. And we'll look for HTML. And it's there and there, there and there. So I'm just going to edit this. And then I'll scroll down and put code on GitHub. Okay, so here's all that code on GitHub.
So you're not going to be checking GitHub or nothing like that, like Rio did?
I'll just have you upload your file. If you want to use GitHub and send the link in, that's fine. I'll look at it there. How many people know how to use GitHub?
A little bit.
All right, how many people do not? Okay, I find it's easier for people just to use your flash drive. We'll focus on building web pages. And you can just upload the file to submit your assignment or send in a screenshot. Okay? And you'll get that at a future point. Is there a strong interest of people wanting to learn it in here? Raise your hand if you want to use it.
Yeah.
Raise your hand if you want to learn it. Maybe that's a better question.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
What's it called?
GitHub. GitHub.
GitHub.
Yeah.
H-U-B.
Yeah.
G-I-T-H-U-B.
So we'll do that then. It seems like people want to do that. And all right, yeah, we'll go for it. All right, so that's using emmet, right? And I used emmet to write this code. I did OL, and then that, and then LI, and then 5 LIs, right? And then this one, and I'll just put a little comment around that. So that's a comment in HTML. And this one I did UL, LI, and 5 of those, and I'll put a little comment around that. So without those comments, that's how I generated the below code. So those are comments in HTML. Means that that code is ignored by the web browser. The web browser doesn't parse it. So to add that back up here, I have to do a git add -- all, git commit -m. You're doing great, and git push, and then it pushes it back up to GitHub. And so that's up there now. But you could use emmet. That's the point of this video, is to learn emmet. You could use emmet by going to emmet.io, and you could watch a demo of what it does, but you could also do emmet cheat sheet. And then here at the emmet cheat sheet, it gives you stuff, right? And you start to see how that works. And so here's a nav UL LI, right? This nav is going to contain, as a descendant, a UL, and that UL will have a descendant, which is a LI. This nav has a descendant, which is a UL, which has a descendant, which is an LI. So nav is for a navigation area, like here is navigation links, and UL is an unordered list, and LI is a list item. So let's all first just create a file wherever. Doesn't matter. Actually, first we'll get GitHub up and running, and then we'll step back and we'll do emmet, and we'll push it to emmet. So we got two things coming up. I'm going to teach you 2 things. You already learned one of them, emmet. And then I'm also going to teach you GitHub. And then we're going to get GitHub set up and running for each of you. And then we'll do an emmet assignment just right here so you can reinforce emmet, okay? So the next thing I'll teach you is GitHub. But this video is just introducing you to emmet a little bit more.